Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. My name is Rick, and I'm joined by Roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
Sometimes I forget. Leave me alone. Anywho, we would always appreciate it if you consider liking this video. Extra appreciations if you subscribe to us. That would really help us out. Help out our channel if you can throw us a like and subscribe. And if you would love to reach out to us, talk to us, you can email us at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com. You can drop a comment somewhere. If you're listening on Spotify, we have some of those there. We have some of those on YouTube as well. But the ones I can't keep up with are the ones on TikTok.
So I do just want to say, like right off the bat, that we're recording a week before you're going to hear this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we have like some things to update you on, but these things, by the time you hear this, will have happened a week ago.
Yes, that's correct.
But Rick, can you start? Let's start with that.
Yeah, I posted a little TikTok video that you two hated, and you're like, "Don't post this," and I did it anyway. That's what happened, and apparently everybody loves it. We're sitting at like 68,000 views on that one, and it's doing great, guys.
It's really like I don't know where the threshold for viral is. I think it's probably 20,000. This feels really viral to me.
It's pretty good. We did it. You know,
I'm really impressed with you.
I looked it up and it said it was. Can you hear me on my mic?
You're great, actually.
Okay, great. It said obviously viral depends on the audience size to start with, but commonly said 50K.
Oh, nice.
All right.
We did it.
We did it. You did it. I also, for the record, would like to state that both Kim and I did like this particular reel for TikTok from the jump. Like I will openly admit that I don't like all the ones you did. And when you did the, you think I'm tacky, baby, stop talking dirty to me, I got really mad because you did it wrong.
Yeah.
But this one I liked from the beginning.
It was good.
Just like I liked Manan from the beginning.
And I also liked Manan from the beginning.
And a lot of you on TikTok did as well, but I wouldn't know because I was able to only keep up with the first couple hundred replies, and then I just tapped out. I really legitimately replied to everyone within the first 2 days, and then I just couldn't. I really couldn't.
I will say, I have been like your crazy, creepy super fan because I have continued to comment on people and to like their comments. So if somebody goes in and looks at the comments, they're like, fuck, it's this person. Like, why is she liking every single comment?
I mean, is it in your bio that you're part of Romantasy Roundtable?
I mean, I'm not sure if it's in the bio there, but it's not in mine. Good call.
I would put it in yours just to be like,
right.
Obviously, this is Kim.
But if they bothered to watch any of the reels that only have 100 or less views on them, that Amanda, they would see either you or me and know the connection.
It's out of control. It's unacceptable.
It's great.
Well, congrats on your virality.
Thank you. I'm very virile.
The other...
Right. I was going to say that. You brought that on yourself, Amanda.
Congrats on your viralness.
On your popularity.
Congrats on your TikTok.
We did it. But go ahead.
The other thing that happened in book news, which again will have happened a week ago when you hear this, is that Sarah J. Maas, our dear friend Sarah, friend of the pod, went on a different podcast, a less famous podcast called Call Her Daddy.
We let her, actually.
What?
We allowed her to. We're like, you know what? You should give that one a little bit of,
She needs a little bit more listeners.
Reach.
Yeah. And announced the next 2 books in the Acatar series.
3, but sure.
Yeah. Can you catch us up in case people listen to this podcast and don't know?
Right. So by the time you hear this, you will have known this. But we recorded a little ahead to catch up. But so our dear friend Sarah said that in October we would be getting Acatar 6. Question mark, is it actually 5 because of the Christmas one, right? But we'll call it 6. And then in October, and then in January we'll be getting 7. But now remind me of this because I didn't watch it because I don't like spoilers. I only just saw the headlines. Are we getting both of the books in January?
Yes.
Really? Both?
Yeah, she said 7, part 1 and part 2. So it sounds like we will have 3 physical books released by the end of January 12th.
That's crazy. I wonder if it's like, wait, by the end of whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They can't both come out on the same day, right? That's impossible.
No,
Wait,
that's 2 and
really?
3 or 7 and 8 come out, or 7 part 1 and 7 part 2 come out on the same day.
That's
It's
insane.
a 2-part, like.
Has that ever happened before?
Like the double VHS for Titanic.
Okay.
I mean, like Taylor's done that multiple times now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I guess.
Sister
I
album.
guess because I'm treating them as 2 different books.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see what they're like. I do also want to say that we all had 12 hours notice that this was happening.
Yeah.
And indie bookstores also had about 12 hours notice that this was happening. So this is just like a shout out to all of our beloved independent bookstores. Please pre-order these books from them and not from Amazon. And be patient with them as their websites crash, their release parties roll in, all of these things. Let's really support our indie book people.
Like Love and Legends.
Like Love and Legends. I think
And
that's where I haven't pre-ordered yet, but that's where I'm going to pre-order from. And also shouts out to like a bunch of people with their like officially licensed SJM merch, where there was some buzz on threads, on book threads, Bookstagram book threads, about how lots of folks' licenses are going to expire in October. And so, go find some officially licensed SJM merch from a shop you like. I really like the Lost Bros. Shout out to them. And buy their merch so that if their license expires, that they've got good numbers to renew. So we just bought a bunch of stuff and we'll report on it when we have it.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a fun shopping spree on Friday of going through all the little shops on Etsy with their official licenses.
And
I will say
we also bought some Heated Rivalry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rick watched Heated Rivalry this week.
I did.
Okay, can I say one thing about Love and Legends?
Of course.
Well, a like shout out that again the little indie bookstores are already being like release parties. How are we going to do this? Which kudos to them for their forethought and planning here. I am, however, annoyed at our dear friend Sarah, who we have such a close connection with, and we allowed to go on Call Her Daddy, because she did not consult with any member of the pod here on that first release date.
Yeah.
October 26th. 27th is not it.
It's not a Romantasy Roundtable approved date.
I'm taking off.
All right, you got to budget your time out though, because you're gonna take some days off earlier in the month.
That's fine.
Right. We all have to take off days earlier in the month to celebrate Amanda and Tristan, and then in the world of college counseling, November 1 is our Super Bowl, and so how dare you have a major release the week of November 1st?
It's really messy. Also, how dare you? I had just redid. I just fixed our recording schedule for like the 87th time. But now we're set. We're set through November.
Love that. Love that. Before we start on the book we're reading, let's go over some comments that we got.
And not Heated Rivalry?
That's for later.
We're going to have a bonus episode.
The first comment we got is from our good friend, Jamie Dawes.
Jamie Dawes!
Jamie!
Oi, governor. So this one actually did want to call you out.
It's like I matey or something. No, that's Pirates.
Arr, matey.
Arr. I did remember, I was reminded by a reel, that oftentimes the Aussies, when they say no, say nar.
Nar.
Wait, really? I thought that was just the thing the kids said.
No, they say it because the Australians say nar.
Oh, good shit, Jamie. I like that. So he did bring this. I did want to call you on this for almost 2 weeks maybe, but kept on forgetting. I'll just read Jamie's comment. Yay. Can't wait to get one of my faves in the series. This was on the end of Crown of Midnight. P.S. It's Ash River, not Ash River.
Huh.
Yeah, that one I did forget to tell you, but he is 100%.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you to our pronunciation guru, Jamie Dawes.
All right, so we have one from Oh no, I can't pronounce this. Let's see. Hold on, let me bring this closer to my face. Someone help me with this. Eilidh. Elid?
Eilidh.
D.
D.
Eilidh.
Yep. Is it
Elid?
Great. We have one from Elid. If I pronounced that incorrectly, I'm so sorry. She's here from TikTok. Thanks, guys. I did that. Hope you love this series. I do. This is my second read through. The best. Amanda's her first read through. Kim's second read through. She says, and now this one, yes, this is the where all the fandom fights over. And I'm not here for a war. Assassin's Blade is best third. It's the order she intended. You aren't meant to know Selena when you meet her. She slowly opens up when you read Assassin's Blade third. You're like, holy shit. It also won't feel like the worst book because you'll love the character and already be invested in her development. You were invested because you read it first and had no reason to care. I do think that's a good point. It's all preferences, but it's unfair to say that it's bad because you couldn't get invested when you technically read it out of order. I don't disagree. When I first read it, I did yell at Kim for similar reasons that I should have read it third.
Repeatedly for months.
I did. But I will stick by two reasons why I enjoy reading it first. Reason number one, she didn't intend for it to be read third, but she did technically write it first. I think she wrote it when she was like 16 or 17. So the writing is objectively not as good as even Throne of Glass. It's hard. Number one, I think it's hard to stop when you're at that point in the series and then go back and not continue the story. It's like, that's number one. But number two, starting with like her very first adventure just makes this whole series feel really, really epic and long versus like going back to like a memory type of story. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
So if you read it third, so that would mean you read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight,
and then
now you go back and read Assassin's Blade, and now you're reading Heir of Fire. So where we are right now in the series, everyone will have read Assassin's Blade.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I don't know what I don't know, right? So I read it this way, and I liked that I read it this way. I imagine there are people who read it the other way and liked that they read it the other way. I think the fact of the matter is no one can actually know both ways.
Yeah.
Right? Because like either you read it one way or you read it the other way, and there's no way to go into the series fresh for the second time.
Yeah.
Unless you have amnesia. But then you wouldn't remember how it felt the first time. So there's no way to do it. And so I hope that everyone is happy with the way that they did it.
Yeah.
I'm a Libra.
Well, I'm curious also, and this truly is just a wondering for the section of the fandom that is like purists about this, of like, no, she released it third, and so therefore that's when we are supposed to read it. I'm curious about how they feel about the tandem read. Because she released those two separate books. Like those were never intended, at least for SJM, never intended to be read simultaneous. So that's just a true curiosity of, do they prefer tandem read, or are they, again, kind of purists of the way that Sarah intended the story to develop?
Let's do some polls. You can do polls on YouTube.
Should we just call Sarah?
Let's just call her daddy.
Yeah. We'll figure out how to do a poll. That'd be fun. Actually, you know what? I'll do this. I'll do a TikTok.
Great. I have one other very important Sarah J. Maas first update that I texted you all about this morning. And that is that I recently discovered, because she told me, because she's my dear friend, that Sarah J. Maas is Jewish. She was raised Jewish.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke.
No.
Oh.
She's Jewish.
Okay.
She was raised Jewish. Her mother is Catholic. Her father is Jewish, I think.
Yep.
But she was raised Jewish. She went to Hebrew school. She met her husband because they were both actively involved in Hillel when they were in college. So he is, I imagine, also Jewish. I'm making an assumption based on that. And so I have long been saying that there is a lot of like Jewish energy to the way that she writes. I texted my sister this morning, and I had texted her earlier this week and been like, I've talked a lot about how like the atrocities in Throne of Glass feel really realistic to me as a Holocaust educator. And at this point, 2/3 of the way through Heir of Fire, I feel very confident saying that like the resistance also feels very historically accurate to me. And what I said to my sister this morning is like, the reason this feels like our story is because it is. And so I feel validated and also really like grateful and now excited to read Crescent City because it sounds like it's more overt because it's more modern. But very cool. And then that also led us to an interesting conversation about our dear friend Nehemiah, or likes to say
Nehemiah, which is how it's pronounced.
It is a biblical
the tradition that I grew up is how it's pronounced.
A biblical name. He's a biblical dude. And so it is pronounced in English, it would be pronounced Nehemiah. And in Hebrew, it's pronounced Nehemiah.
Nehemiah. Thank you.
So we're both right.
Both right.
But Rick is pronouncing it in the traditional Hebrew. Nehemiah.
I have two things. We need to move on. But
we're talking about Sarah J. Maas, though. Like this, for all of our rambling, this is actually relevant.
No, it is. I'm about to just ruin it.
Is it about heated rivalry?
No, it's not. It's about Jewish. Because you said...
Those are my two favorite things.
You said something resistance, and it's like, wait a minute, and then my mind literally went 1,000 miles an hour. And I'm just reading I'm reading the headline and the first sentence of this. George Lucas drew inspiration from his own spiritual beliefs, which are heavily influenced by Judaism.
Rick, are you just realizing that the Star Wars story is about Nazis? They literally goose step.
I'm sorry.
Look at the way they march.
I mean, look, I got it. I really got it in like the new trilogy, like episode 7 to 8.
Yeah.
That was overt. All right. So that's
also J.J. Abrams is Jewish.
Didn't know that. All right.
I will say, and just the one more thing, just to add even more context for SJM here. I love a religion major, which is what she was also. And so she really has been schooled in this. I was a religion minor. I was not a religion major because I didn't want to have to write 2 theses in college.
That tracks. I also I wonder, another question for the comments, like if you have religious background in other faiths, like I've heard there's like some Greek Orthodox threads in here. Like if you have religious background in other faiths, I'd be really interested to hear sort of if you see reflections of your own spiritual practices and traditions in the Maas verse as well. I just feel really validated. I mean, there's literally a Miriam and Acatar and they part the Red Sea. So what was I thinking? I'm excited.
And our last comment from YouTube is from Millen Search Academy. I saw your channel. Very nice. I saw some problems with your channel. I would like to send you a free audit report on some of your channel issues. How can I contact you? Million? No. All right, we can continue.
You can email us at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com and then we can ignore you on 2 platforms.
There we go. All right, let's get to it.
All right, we are reading Heir of Fire chapters 24 through 44. Our notes today are from Kim.
Pause. All silent.
Just saying, if anybody doesn't like these notes today, and by anybody, I mean Rick, then I don't have to do this.
No, this is your job now. We all have a job. Amanda is our executive assistant.
I'm our project manager.
I am the video editor and content creator, and you are the noter.
I'm the bringer of vibes.
You're the notary.
She's the notary public.
Yep.
Chapter 24. Chaol and Adian sneak into Elena's tomb to exchange dangerous secrets. Chaol reveals the truth about Aelin, the word keys, and the king's terrifying power, hoping the rebels might save Dorian from his unstable magic. Unfortunately for everyone, Dorian overhears the entire conversation and is deeply hurt that Chaol and Selena/Aelin kept such massive secrets from him. The confrontation is icy, literally. As Dorian's magic flares, and though he promises to keep the secret, he wants nothing to do with their rebellion. Meanwhile, Aedion meets with Ren and Murtaugh to quietly begin rebuilding the scattered remnants of Aelin's future court. Everyone agrees on one thing. When Aelin returns, the king of Adarlan is fucked.
Oh, yeah.
I have 2 thoughts on this chapter. So when they go into Elena's tomb, our dear friend Mort won't move.
Nope.
I know I said in the last episode or 2 episodes ago that Mort is Jewish.
He is.
And he sure is. My other thought is like, there's just so many people. I don't know who Ren and Murtaugh are.
I mean, just to help.
One of them is the other one's grandfather.
Right. Murtaugh is the grandfather. He's got an
That just became aware. Like I just became aware of that in like chapter 43.
Ren and Murtaugh, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, you can. I've been telling you we're waiting for our cast of characters, yada yada yada. You can relegate them to like supporting cast.
Great.
So
They are Terrasen, basically. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
They're the Lords of Allsbrook, which is one of the ports within Terrasen.
Great.
The one thought I do remember, and I won't go either way on this for spoiler free, but like it was at this point when Dorian overheard, I was like, shit, is this the beginning of Dorian's villain origin story? So
yeah, I could see that.
Like, again, I am not I know the future, but without knowing the future, my thought at this point was, shit, does the king die and Dorian take over? Basically, like, what's his name from Bartholomew?
From
Benji.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Benji
I was like,
Barlow.
Is this fucking Benji Barlow?
Dorian fucking Haviliard.
Yes. So
interesting. All right, chapter 25. Back in Wendlyn, Selena's training with Rowan continues to go spectacularly nowhere. She still can't shift, she still hates him, and she's now also working brutal kitchen shifts for good measure. Rowan takes her to the ruins of a temple to the sun goddess Mala.
Yeah.
Hoping the ancient magical site might help unlock her fire powers. But Selena mostly uses the time to ask existential questions about immortality and the tragic fate of the Fae in Terrasen. Later, Rowan drags her into the forest to investigate a disturbing new mystery, a drained, husk-like corpse left near a stream. The death looks eerily similar to the creature they encountered in the Barrow Field, suggesting something more horrifying is feeding on people's memories and life force. Selena insists on burning the woman's body in a proper funeral pyre, but despite the flames and the moment of emotion, she still can't access her own fire magic. I think she's connected to this goddess somehow. She's the sun goddess. Selena's got fire powers. I don't know. That's my prediction. And these things are Dementors. They're soul suckers.
Yep.
That's my thought. Those are all my thoughts. I took really good notes this time around, guys.
Yay.
Chapter 26, Chaol and Aedion meet again in Selena's secret apartment, which is both luxurious and emotionally devastating, where they continue trading information about magic and the rebellion. Aedion shares strange reports from across the continent about the day magic vanished. Animals panicked, waves of mysterious energy and disturbances radiating from a central point, evidence that something massive and unnatural caused the loss of magic, which I think we like kind of assumed, but it's like interesting. There were like waves of birds, talking about the birds. Meanwhile, Dorian spends his days secretly researching ways to control his powers with the healer Sorscha, who treats magic like a medical condition and experiments with iron to suppress it. The experiment works painfully and proves they might be able to control his abilities. In a burst of relief and adrenaline, Dorian impulsively kisses Sorscha, who immediately pretends it never happened.
I told you the other day at work, I thought this was really smart on how to suppress magic.
Loved it.
It was really clever. I also really liked like how they said like the magic was how I think something along the lines of, so they said like the gods put a cap on human magic because of the iron in their blood.
Yeah,
which I liked. And now I'm thinking, does Sorscha also give him something like X-Lax, because a lot of iron is going to get him constipated?
Unless he is anemic.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
I had a couple thoughts on this chapter. I guess this was when I realized that Aedion was also part Fae, which I guess I didn't realize.
He sure is.
So that's kind of interesting to me. We don't know at this point how much Fae he is and how that manifests, but it seems that he does have like some heightened senses, I think is what we know. Sight and hearing, I believe.
I think smell too.
And probably smell, because that is we love a Fae who can smell the sex on you.
That's right.
Which is probably not, I mean, there's no soup in this book. The other thing, so I've been really struggling with Chaol and how I feel about him for 3 books now. And he says something in this chapter where Adian is basically like, why are you helping? Like, you're the captain of the guard. And Chaol says something to the effect of, I grew up being told we were bringing peace and civilization to the continent. And Adian is like, but you knew about the labor camps, like you knew about the massacres. And Chaol says, it's easy to be lied to when you don't know any of those people firsthand. And when your king tells you they deserve to be there because they're criminals or rebels or murderers. And so again, I'm just saying this is really based in real atrocities and the incremental nature of accepting human suffering. And I really appreciate that.
I did too. And I don't know if I like always fully relate to Chaol, but I appreciate that he's someone who has like been so tied to his values and his moral code, and that is how he's lived his life. And so like he's struggling to understand gray and understand how to let some of that go. And that feels like a really natural process. I think of him sometimes, and I think I said this to Rick at one point, and Rick was like, that's not true. But I attempted to equate him to like Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. I mean, he's got like a very similar position, King versus Captain of the Guard here, but also just like someone who's like so upstanding and who is like trying so hard to do what he thinks is the right thing.
Yeah. And I think it becomes, I definitely see that. And I think it becomes really clear in this set of chapters that Chaol's loyalty is not to the king. His loyalty isn't to the cause. His loyalty isn't to a Darlin. His loyalty isn't to the king. His loyalty is to people. And so his loyalty is to Dorian and his loyalty is to Selena. And so the things that he's doing out of loyalty to individuals, which it's becoming very apparent that the loyalty needs to be to a cause. And to a movement. And so I think that's going to continue to be really hard for Chaol. Chapter 27. We're with Manan.
Yay.
She's high in the mountains. She continues navigating witch politics while quietly plotting how to win the coveted position of wing leader. She secretly trains with her wyvern, Abraxos, the supposedly weak, scarred mount that everyone else dismissed, while keeping her scheming grandmother and rival covens in the dark. Instead of dominating him with cruelty like the other witches, Manan does something shocking. She treats Abraxos like an ally. The two form an eerie mutual understanding, and Abraxos willingly allows her to approach and saddle him. By the end of the chapter, it's clear this unlikely partnership might give Manan and the 13 a powerful edge in the coming war. Manan says at one point to her second, whose name I don't remember, it starts with an A, Astrin. Because Astrin is like, your mom, or not your mom, your grandma told me to do this. And Manan is like, are you her spy or my second? And it seems so far that Astrin has chosen to be her second. It seems that the third, like again, talking a lot about loyalty, it seems that the 13 is loyal to Manan, not loyal to the Blackbeak or the Iron Teeth. Like their loyalty is to Manan first. That's the way it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that their loyalties to each other.
Yeah, like as a coven.
And Manan at the top, but yes, to each other, yeah. For
sure. And we also get a little taste of like learning about the different vibes of the different people and the different witches in the 13 in this chapter, where like you hear about her second and about her third, and these are like the green-eyed demon twins, and these are like the shadow singers. And there's just like, I really appreciated learning about the vibes.
Yep.
And the humans taste bad.
They do. They don't taste good.
And then we find out in a couple of chapters, the goats also
taste bad.
Kim, we lost
Kim
you.
is dead. I bet her mic died. She probably didn't charge it. She's going to go back to the old thing. Now, you know, guys, I give her a mic. She had days to charge the mic, and, you know, she just shows up.
I am here.
Look, they say if you give
Still hear me.
him a microphone, it's like giving a moose a muffin.
Oh.
Also, if you gave me a gift, why didn't you charge them?
You take zero responsibility for anything. God. Amanda's texting.
I'm not. I'm pushing my cuticles back.
Oh, okay.
Yay for a fidget moment.
I need a productive fidget.
Yeah.
Kim was saying something.
Oh, I was saying that, yes, they have to go out and hunt their own goats, which we learned in a couple of chapters, which gave me a lot of like Andarna vibes with the sheeps, and I love that when we get there. But also, as we have said many a time before, we love a sentient dragon creature and also some kind of possible bonded situation.
Bondage situation?
Bonded.
Hey, look, Por qué no los dos? All right.
That's not this book. Those are different books that we have read.
Phantasma was last summer.
Yeah. I'm really loving. I know that Rick's whole TikTok was about how like he didn't care about Manan the first time around, but like, man, I love it. I love some witch lore. I love some dragon lore. I'm all in.
Yep.
Chapter 28. Rowan randomly decides to take Selena to a peaceful healers commune, which briefly reminds her what normal non-assassin life might look like, complete with kind healers and a tranquil riverside vibe. The field trip ends quickly because Rowan refuses to let them stay overnight, and he immediately drags her on another mysterious journey the next morning. Their trek leads them deep into the woods to investigate more strange deaths linked to the life-draining creature they discovered earlier. The growing pattern suggests the thing is hunting people near the coast and deliberately leaving bodies behind. Rowan and Selena are no closer to identifying it, but the situation is clearly escalating into a serious threat. There's a couple other things that happen in this chapter. So they show up to this commune and like nobody wants them there.
Right. And this isn't a random field trip. Like they go, and so this is my ChatGPT kind of slightly hallucinating. Because they go because they're trying to gather information about what is happening with bodies.
Yes. And so nobody wants them there. And Rowan says it's because the Fae have a history when they interact with humans, they have a history of taking what they want, which is icky. And Selena basically is like, well, we're not going to get them to talk to us unless we like buy stuff from them. So she buys some chocolate truffles and it works. And then she keeps buying a bunch of other stuff and she's just walking around eating her chocolate truffles, being a good patron of the town.
Supporting small businesses.
So like if you want to pre-order Acatar 6, be like Selena Sardothian and pre-order it from a small bookshop in a healer's commune. Then we get a flashback or a dream sequence of some kind. And neither of you are saying anything, so I guess I'm going to talk about it. So it's a conversation between her parents that Selena overhears when she's a child.
Oh, yeah.
Talks about how her mother called her Fireheart. She talks about how the other children of Terrasen were afraid of her and that Adian was her only friend and that they had a really strong bond. And those are the only notes I took.
Yeah.
But other stuff happens. I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah, no, I like the slow trickle of her background throughout the series.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think the most important part of that is just that we learn like how close she and Adian were. Which is really also kind of interesting because like their age difference makes it like a little bit weird. Because he's like 13.
Older is he? He's like 13 and she's like 8.
Yeah. So I like try not to think about that in like creepy ways. Where I'm like, Adian, like, why are you a 13-year-old boy hanging out with an 8-year-old? Like that's
his cousin.
I know, I get that. But like
at this point, I was getting like Big Brother vibes from him, but like a few chapters later, I'm like, is he in love with her? Because that's gross.
He's not.
Well,
he's no. It's no. It's. I think it's very.
Because they're like, would you be her king?
Right, but it's very medieval Game of Thrones love, where it's like I would marry her, not touch her, but like for the throne or whatever. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, they've said that their lines are separate enough that it could be the strongest partnership is to have them actually marry.
No.
Yeah.
Just making my stance on this clear. My stance is no. Chapter 29. The overnight trip Rowan drags Selena on turns out to be less scenic hike and more extreme emotional trauma boot camp. Rowan pushes her relentlessly during training, demanding she access her magic and face the memories she's been avoiding. When she refuses to confront her past, including the massacre of her family and everything that followed, Rowan absolutely loses his patience. Their confrontation explodes into a brutal fight where he verbally tears through every excuse she's hiding behind. By the end, Selena is emotionally wrecked, but Rowan has finally forced her to start confronting the truth about herself. No. That's not what happens in this chapter.
Dum, dum, dum.
Just like to say, someone told me that I had to do this with my ChatGPT that was not trained.
Please hold.
Dum, dum, dum. My computer's in the shop, guys.
I mean, the stuff that's happening that they're describing does happen.
I'm grabbing my Kindle. Sorry, friends at home. We're figuring it out.
Non-friendly attempt something bold. Does that happen and other stuff happens? This is chapter 29. My notes on chapter 29 are about Chaol and Adian. And my notes on chapter 30 are also about Chaol and Adian. And then 31 is about Manan.
I'm just saying, my computer's broke. And I couldn't do anything. Friends. Romans. Countrymen. Lend me your ear.
What chapter are we in?
We're talking about chapter 29.
Kim is looking at her Kindle. Why don't you just send me the files?
Chapter 29 is, here's what I do remember. Chapter 29 is the one where Adian and Chaol are like in town and Jen like limps up to them bleeding and Adian takes out like a bunch of guys.
Okay, chapter 29 is important because it starts with Sorscha. Also like reflecting on the fact that Dorian had kissed her.
Okay. Talk about that a little bit.
Rick, I'm sending you the files.
Great. Also in chapter 29, we get a Fleetfoot sighting. Our first Fleetfoot sighting in quite some time. Fleetfoot, she's chilling. She's doing great. She's living in the castle. She probably misses her mom. She's having a good time.
We love Fleetfoot.
We do. So I just wanted to make it clear that Fleetfoot is in this chapter because that's important. A thing that I'm just going to like monologue while we're figuring this out. A thing that happens in this chapter is like Chaol and Adian are like coming up with excuses for why they have to be seen together. And I guess I don't understand why they have to come up with excuses. Like, they both are like working for the king, right? So like, why wouldn't it make sense for the captain of the guard and this like general from Terrasen to be seen together?
I think it's just because they haven't liked each other for so long.
Oh, okay.
Now they're trying to be like, okay, so why would we be showing up places?
Why are Shane and Ilya starting a charity together?
Right.
What?
Exactly.
What's going on?
So the people that he like fights with, the people that Adian takes out like really fast, like so fast that Chaol was like shocked. Because he's parfait. They're wearing like a secret uniform that has the royal symbol on it.
Yeah.
But Chaol's like, I've never seen that uniform before. And then in chapter 30, they're like, we got to get Ren somewhere safe. And so they take Ren to an opium den / brothel situation, seedy den of sin. And the madam like takes them to private room situation and like helps Chaol and Adian disguise themselves so they look like they're high on opium and also is like secretly a medic. And this was the moment where I was like, the resistance here is really rooted in like, this felt very accurate to me to like how resistance movements have worked in history. That oftentimes they're hiding under the guise of sin when in reality, like, I love a madam who's secretly a medic, is what I'm saying. And they talk about how there's some kind of spell that is triangular.
Right. They're trying to figure out again, they're still thinking about like how was magic banned and how did this happen?
Yes. Which I guess is why
together.
Chaol is trying to talk to Ren in the first place.
Right. Okay. Chapter 31 goes back to Manan.
Okay. So I think this is probably our chapter 30 notes.
I'm
right?
trying, but I'm doing this on my iPad because I gave Kim one job, and now I'm trying to do it on my phone. So if you can just talk.
You're being so mean to Kim.
I love you, Kim.
I love you too.
Okay. I think these notes are correct for chapter 31. They're just on the wrong. I'm going to read them. Meanwhile, back in the mountains of Witch Chaos, Manan continues secretly working with Abraxos while maintaining the illusion that everything is perfectly under control. Abraxos is being like a little Ferdinand.
Mm-hmm.
He's laying with flowers.
He's laying with the flowers. And her bond with the scarred wyvern grows stronger until she realizes his intelligence and resilience might make him far more valuable than the supposedly superior mounts.
What chapter are you reading?
31.
31. At the same time, her spies, the Shadows, are quietly monitoring rival covens like the Yellowlegs. She's playing a careful political game. She wants the 13 to dominate the skies. But this is also where we find out. So Abraxos is like laying in the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't eat the goat, the lamb, the whatever, the meat that she brought him. And she realizes, she's like, fine, if you won't eat it, I'll eat it. And she like bites into it and she's like, ew. So this is when they start hunting their own meat.
Mm-hmm. And they go to a different area and get their own clean goats.
Yeah. And so she wonders aloud if it's something in the water, is what she says.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's in the water, but it's something. Something's up.
I don't know what's going on. Who knows? Who knows at all?
You do know.
I do, actually.
But also this is, she like continually calls him like a useless worm because he doesn't want to try to fly. And so he's like
very stubborn.
Eating the goats that she's getting him and rolling around in the flowers and like enjoying the sunspot on the mountain. And then she's like, no, we must do this. She's like, you don't have the heart of a warrior, blah, blah, blah. And this is where she runs and jumps on him. And they take off the edge of the mountain in not graceful fashion.
Yes. And she tries to go down the easy side, but he turns and goes down the hard side. And
he falls, doesn't he?
Yeah, but they do it.
Yeah.
And at one point he like spreads his wings and makes a noise. And so she like spreads her arms and makes a noise.
Just like the Titanic.
I love them. Yeah. I have no notes for chapter 32, so I think maybe that's chapter 32.
That is chapter 32.
Okay.
Yeah. They're sailing above the clouds. They are, having their moment where they're like, we did it.
Yes.
I'm pulling notes for chapter 34 on, so you're going to have to keep going for now.
Okay. I don't know what happens in chapter 33. My notes from chapter 33 say, I thought Lorcan was from Crescent City. Because I've seen a lot of memes like, what did Lorcan do? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, it must be from Crescent City because that's the series that's not done. But he's in this book. And so I texted you guys and I was like, is he from this book or is he from Crescent City? I'm not Googling it. And you told me he's from this book. And I was like, well, then I literally know nothing about Crescent City.
Good. Keep it that way.
So I think chapter 33 is the chapter where...
So Selena is working in the kitchens.
Yes.
And they're doing nightly story time because Emrys is a keeper of the stories. And so they like gather around the fire every night. And she starts asking for stories about Maeve. And so he's sharing a couple of the stories like about her back history and connection with her and her sister. And then while this is happening, a giant cat shows up, which ends up being another one of the Fate Warriors. And this is Gabrielle showing up for the first time. who is one of the other 5 that are blood oath bound to Maeve. And Rowan takes him and tattoos him.
Yes, he's tattooing him, and Selena walks in and tries to talk to him about something, and he screams at her.
Basically.
And is really awful to her. Okay.
I mean, she stepped in it. Like, she was very much like,
no, I know.
I'm going to bring them stew because I want to see what's going on. And
Yeah.
then, like, walks in on this, like, clearly emotional moment that the two of them are having as Gabrielle's getting tattooed by Rowan. And we don't know at this moment in time.
We don't know at this moment what that is.
Yeah.
So,
I have
chapter
34 ready.
34.
All right, hold on a second. This is me just gonna kill some. I'm waiting for this send to go through. There we go. So I'll read chapter 34, and you have it coming in your email, Amanda, in a half a second, because the people like your voice. All right, chapter 34. When Emerus innocently shows off a new knife from Elby, Selena completely snaps under the weight of her grief, screaming at the Demi-Fae, before fleeing into the woods where a surprisingly perceptive Rowan tracks her down. Deciding that extreme trauma requires extreme teaching methods, the immortal warrior sadistically chains Luca to the center of a frozen lake, and he demands that Selena use her Fae magic to melt his strength. Selena manages to master her fiery power just enough to free the boy without boiling him alive, proving she can actually command her magic when she isn't throwing a temper tantrum.
Something else happens before all that.
Go ahead.
Selena screams at Emerus.
Yeah, it was the first sentence that I read.
Oh.
Because he shows...
She snaps under the weight of her grief. Oh.
Rainbow.
Okay. Well, and at the end of chapter 33, Rowan says to Selena, "You are nothing to me, and I do not care." And so my notes for chapter 34 say, "Rude, Emerus doesn't deserve that."
Mm-hmm.
And we got our first Rowan POV chapter. Okay, you can keep reading.
However, Rowan's terrifying pop quiz gets exponentially worse when she glances into the freezing water and realizes a massive, ancient red eye is staring right back at her from the abysmal depths.
Chapter 34 is a whole book. It's so long and so much happens. Mm-hmm. So that all happens. And also, so we get a Rowan POV. We find out that the tattoos are the names of the fallen. And Emerus basically like gets up in Rowan's face and is like, "You gotta like get your house in order. He says you shove her down when she so desperately needs someone to help her back up." And we realize that Emerus knows that she is Aelin and recognizes her because he knew her mother, and is like, you gotta get it together. And so that's why Rowan does this whole shit with Luca, which is crazy. And Selena says to him, "Don't give me a lesson like you're some mystical nonsense master," which I loved. And they also talk about how Melisande had a young queen on its throne. And I was like, I still don't know what we're talking about.
I did like, though, when Luca was chained up and like Selena's like bashful to go up, like looking all fey and stuff, whatever. And Luca's like, "Look, I really don't care who you are and what you look like. Can you please just get me out?"
Yeah. I know I said in the last episode that I picture Luca like King Arthur in The Sword and the Stone, like he's just like a little wart. I am also realizing that I picture Emerus as our coworker Ciro. And if Ciro yelled at me, I don't know if I would ever recover from that.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad about that too.
But that's how I feel.
All right,
also, I had such a big crush on Wirt when I was a really small child.
That's fair. He's a precious little baby.
He was.
Chapter 35. Selena and Luca scramble. Unless you want to keep reading.
I can sub in for you so you can take a break.
I mean, I'm happy to do it. You were doing it, and I don't want to take it away from you.
Let's go back and forth.
Okay. Chapter 35. Selena and Luca scramble for their lives as a massive one-eyed lake monster shatters the ice, narrowly escaping the beast's jaws before fleeing into the woods. Furious at being used as monster bait, Selena unleashes her feral rage on Rowan, violently pinning him and burning his facial tattoo in a brutal, bloody display of dominance. After she breaks down and confesses that Nehemia orchestrated her own assassination, Rowan shocks her by validating her rage, leading to a surprisingly tender moment in his bedroom where he reveals the tragic slaughter of his mate, Lyria.
Yeah.
Bonding over their shared centuries of trauma and mutual self-loathing, the two scarred warriors finally agree to stop acting like total enemies and tentatively decide to find their way back to the light together.
Real quick about his backstory, because it's important. So he was constantly trying to prove himself to Maeve, and he met his mate Lyria, and she was all happy with her, and basically Maeve sent him off to war, and Lyria was like, please don't go. He's like, I gotta go. Maeve's telling me to go. I gotta do this. So he goes, and while he's away, she gets killed. And go ahead.
And she was pregnant.
So,
and he should have known, but didn't smell it because he was so distracted by wanting to do what Maeve told him.
So he couldn't make it back in time to save her, and went into basically just the worst depression ever, and ended up swearing his blood oath to Maeve for it.
Yes. Also in this chapter, before they leave the cave situation with the monster, she takes a gold and ruby sword and a gold ring. She pockets the ring. She's like, I'm keeping the sword. And when they get back and they're talking to Emerus about what they did, they mentioned that this cave is under Bald Mountain. Bald Mountain is a thing.
Yeah, it's my mountain.
Night on Bald Mountain is a song. That's in Fantasia, your favorite Disney movie, the big creature with the wings.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Mark.
Hold on.
Tern. His name is Tern.
Bald. No, I'm so annoyed that I don't remember what it is. Night on Bald Mountain, Disney.
Gregory.
Chernabog.
Oh, so close.
It's Chernabog. Don't worry, I'm going to put this in the chat so you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, that's Bald Mountain. And that happens. And then we also learned that the ring was from the guy who cut out this creature's eye, because Emerus is like, here's the one story that I do know. And he tells the story because most people who meet this creature don't live to tell the tale. And Selena's like, that's weird. That ruby is really big. So maybe it was the eye. That's that. Chapter 30.
She also, she apologizes to Emerus and Malachi and Luca, and gets down on her knees and is like, I am so sorry about this. And then she also tattoos Rowan.
She tattoos Rowan. She finishes his tattoo. Rick, read us chapter 36.
Chapter 37. 36. An intense meeting in Rifthold on a Rifthold rooftop. Adian and Ren clash over the rebellion, with Adian fiercely declaring he'd be happy to build a throne from the bones of their enemies for his lost queen. Later, Chaol accompanies the terrifying general of the north to a filthy tavern, realizing exactly why the soldiers worship the ground the golden hair warrior walks on. They question Commander Jensen about his time stationed at Null, uncovering chilling details about men going mad near a mysterious black stone tower that sounds suspiciously identical to the clock tower in the Glass Castle. Also, I believe it's going to be important, but they are speaking about a general named Narok in this chapter. Chaol realizes the King of Adarlan is using these massive towers in a dark spell across the continent, prompting the captain to nervously decide he needs Dorian's magic to test his new theory.
This chapter was infuriating for me because I kept reading something and then predicting something, and the thing I predicted happened 3 sentences later. So I don't have any exciting predictions to share other than that I was like, oh my God, the towers, those are the 3 points of the triangular spell. And then they make it very clear that the towers are the 3 points of the triangular spell, and that the people who go mad, they go mad because they have headaches. And I don't remember whether it was Ren or Adian. I think it was Ren, whose job was like supposed to be to like kill the people who went mad. But he's like, I didn't have to because they bashed their own heads in.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But like as a person who gets migraines, I kind of get it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I've been saying about the headaches and the obsidian and the towers and the rings, they're all connected. And I believe Psyduck is to blame. He's the bad guy.
I think, and Amanda, I know you sort of alluded to this by being like Ren and Murtagh, like who are these guys earlier. These chapters are also my least favorite chapters.
Yeah.
Like hanging out with the two of them and Chaol and Adian, I'm just kind of like, get me back to Manan, get me back to Selena. I'm bored.
Let's do 2 chapters at a time so we could finish. These next 2 are, just read the next 2. You'll see.
All right. 37. Desperate to reinforce Abraxos' weak wings before the brutal war games, Manan Blackbeak risks her life by flying her wyvern directly into the Rune Mountains during a freezing storm. I wrote, isn't Rune a guy?
He sure is in Crescent City.
Crescent City. Yeah, okay. She seeks out the legendary Stygian Spiders. Shouts out that we already know about that. Engaging in a dangerously flirtatious bargaining session with the ancient monsters who want to eat her youth and steal her beauty. Proving that she is the absolute queen of toxic girl boss energy, Manan tricks the massive spiders by pretending to inspect the spider silk before having Abraxos whip them into the ravine. She successfully steals the priceless silk without paying a single year of her lifespan, securing a massive tactical advantage for the 13 while leaving the spiders to rot. Couple little things. She talks about how Manan talks about how she doesn't like rain, but she prefers snow. We know a guy who has some ice magic. We actually know 2 guys who have ice magic. Manan and Abraxos snuggle here. It's really cute. And they talk about a young woman with red wine hair who calls herself the High Queen. I don't know who that is. What?
Are you kidding?
Who's the young woman with red hair who calls herself the High Queen?
Wait, are you for real?
Yeah.
Think back to Assassin's Blade. Who is her best friend at the Silent Assassins?
She's become the High Queen?
Yeah.
Well, she called herself the High Queen.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was like the whole point of like why she betrayed them, was so that she could
go back to her people.
Take her throne. Yeah. Okay. Got it. I remembered her. I didn't remember her thinking she was a queen. But yeah, I guess I do. Okay, great. I forgot about that. And I wrote, I know you said to do 2 chapters at once, but I have thoughts on this chapter. What?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Anyway, I used to work at Joanne Fabrics of blessed memory, and so thinking about the spider silk in bolts is funny to me. Chapter 38. With Abraxos' wings freshly grafted with spider silk, Manan confidently leads him to the Northern Fang to attempt the suicidal plunge known as the Crossing. However, her wyvern stubbornly refuses to jump, leading to a humiliating standoff that ends with a sadistic Iskra Yellowlegs slicing Abraxos' face open with a bloody whip. Completely losing her mind, Manan violently tackles the rival heir to the stone floor, brutally beating Iskra to a pulp, until her own coven has to drag her off. The Yellowlegs heir is left leaking blood on the ground, while Manan issues a terrifying threat, proving that nobody messes with the witch's emotional support wyvern and lives to brag about it. My only note on this chapter is I too would fight a man for Abraxos.
Me too.
Chapter 39. While tattooing fresh ink over the burns she gave him, Selena uses the intimate moment to interrogate Rowan about his family, proving that flirting with a needle and mallet is certainly a bold strategy.
Would work on me.
What?
Would work on me.
The conversation shifts to her estranged cousin, Adian Ash River, with Selena admitting she fears facing the legendary general even more than facing the king of Adarlan because of the horrific things she's done as an assassin. When Rowan aggressively presses her on why she won't reclaim the throne of Terrasen, he uncovers the faded scars from her training shackles, leading her to confess that her crown feels like just another prison. She admits she stayed with Arabin because she wanted to hide from herself, establishing that they both have a serious penchant for avoiding their deeply rooted trauma. They mentioned my only note here. So, chapter 40, Dorian, Haviliard, and the gentle healer Sorscha are officially sharing a bed, but they're not having sex.
Selena and Sam part 2.
Selena and Sam part 2. And Selena and Dorian part 2.
That's true.
The prince detests having to sneak around the castle to protect her from his family's wrath. Their romantic morning bubble is popped when Chaol Westfall arrives to deliver a tense apology, prompting Dorian to unleash a brutal reality check on the captain for conditionally loving Selena and fearing magic. He's like, you can't pick which parts to love. You've picked which parts of Selena and you've picked which parts of me, and it's not okay. I loved that. Meanwhile, in the rebel apartment, Murtaugh arrives with the terrifying news that General Narek has sailed a fleet to Wendlyn alongside unspeakable, artificially created monsters from the dead island. Realizing the king of Adarlan is deploying these horrific black-collared creatures to coincide with the royal assassinations, Adian and the rebels scramble to figure out how to warn their queen before it's too late. Pirate Lord Rolf is present in this chapter.
Yeah, he's getting mentioned.
So we know who he is.
And I think, I think we've mentioned it before, but Sorscha continuously is writing her friend letters.
I didn't remember that.
It's very small, but she's like, oh, I just need to write my friend a letter.
She doesn't tell us who her friend is.
Correct.
Okay, well, it's the other healer lady. And I wrote for this chapter, if you stand for nothing, Chaol, what do you fall for?
Also, her name is Irene Towers. So,
is she one of the 3 towers of the spell? I stopped taking notes and then I started again on the last chapter. Chapter 41, during the Beltane Festival at Mistward. Oh, you're supposed to be alternating with me.
I know, but
Go ahead.
During the Beltane Festival at Mistward, Rowan forces Selena to maintain the roaring bonfires with her magic, pushing her control to its absolute limits. Excuse me. Swept up in the entrancing music and the sheer joy of their flames, Selena loses her grip on her power and spectacularly pushes herself into a lethal, agonizing, magical burnout. Rowan frantically carries her burning body to the baths, plunging her into freezing water and using his own ice magic to violently battle the flames, cooking her from the inside out. After he saves her life, Rowan catches the sight of the horrific whip scars on her back, and Selena finally confesses that she has been spent a year brutalized as a slave in the salt mines of Endovier. Chapter 42, and then we can collect. Reeling from the horrific revelation of Selena's scars, Rowan shifts into his Rowan Hawkthorn form and flies violently into the night, consumed by feral territorial rage towards the people who enslaved her. He realizes Queen Maeve deliberately hid this trauma from him, and his guilt over the previous cruel comment forces him to abandon his flight to Doranel and return to the fortress. He slips through Selena's window, scoops up her freezing, drained body, and deposits her into his own warm bed, gruffly declaring she is staying in his room from now on. Holding her hand in the dark, Rowan silently listens as she spills the devastating truth of her time in Rifthold, the death of Sam, and the horrors of Endovier. Their shared trauma finally forges an unbreakable bond.
I loved this. I've been waiting for Rowan to get it together. I appreciate that he got it together. I appreciate that he was like, oh my God, I threatened to whip her. What is actually wrong with me?
What I like though is she's done the same to him.
Yes.
So I really like the balance in that.
Yeah. And they're like, I don't know that I've read anything that's happened between them as flirtatious yet. I assume that's where we're going just because he's the broodiest brood that's ever brooded. But whatever. But I will say, like, I appreciate that they're like, Rowan's like, you and I are cut from the same cloth. Like, you and I have, like, again, the Mossverse is not kind to people, right? Like, you and I have been through hell. We wear our trauma, like literal and figurative scars, and we act out because of it. So, like, let's just be honest with each other so we can, like, move through this and be better people, fae, creatures together. I like it.
I like that. Yeah, I like that too. So I was gonna say, I do still, as we've talked about so many times before, sort of sometimes struggle with like the perspective of like, oh my gosh, your 19 years have been so much harder than my 500.
Yeah.
Where I like spent 10 years in self-exile, like, you know, because my pregnant mate was killed. It's like, that was 10 years versus like her one moment of trauma.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Selena has experienced an enormous amount of trauma for a 19-year-old. But yeah, he's had 500 years. We actually don't know how old he is, but centuries of a rough life.
Yeah.
Rough life.
Chapter 43, Rowan goes into full overbearing warrior mode, completely restricting a recovering Selena to his bed while obsessively monitoring her food intake and the room's temperature. They discuss the rare magical Chernabog?
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Oh yeah.
Chernabog? Carranam.
No, I know what it is. Caranam. Jamie, looking at you.
Help.
Help.
But the conversation turns heavy when Selena confesses her ultimate goal to obliterate the labor camps and free every single enslaved person on the continent. She finally reveals her deepest fear. A monstrous, unyielding rage lives beneath her skin, and she refuses to embrace her identity as Aelin because she knows that unleashing that fury could destroy the entire world. Once she recovers, Rowan resumes her brutal training by sadistically hurling ice daggers at her face until she successfully learns to conjure a localized blazing shield of fire to protect herself. Chapter 40, we should talk about this because 44 is different. Somebody says you collect scars because you want proof that you're paying for whatever sins you've committed. I don't remember which one of them says it, but it applies to both of them. And they're back to having silent conversations. They're fully communicating telepathically, these two. So either they have very expressive faces or they're communicating telepathically.
I can tell.
And she's calling him prince and he's calling her princess. And he's calling her princess in the telepathic conversation. That's not just happening in faces.
I'm just saying that I thought it was telepathic. Or no, sorry, I'm wrong. I'm lying. I thought it was just facial expressions. Not kidding. I swear to God.
It can't.
I did too. I just thought that they were looking at each other.
Yeah, like how many times when I talk to you, do you give me like the like, and I like have a whole conversation with you. I'm like.
What can you tell me? What can you interpret that conversation right there?
Sure. We'll start with words, and it'll be like, Rick, I need you to watch gay hockey, and I'd be like, fuck out of here, and you'll be like, and this face is, I'm telling you to watch this, and I'm like, I don't care what you're saying, and then you're like, you're gonna listen to me, and I'm like, I mean, we both know I'm gonna listen to you. I just don't want to do it right now, and you're like, you're gonna listen to me right now, and then I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna listen to you right now, and it's a whole conversation.
What is this face?
That face is, I'm listening, and you're an idiot.
Incorrect. That face is, aren't you glad I made you watch gay hockey? Chapter 44 is our last chapter. The 13 are flying as a flawless, terrifying unit, but Manan Blackbeak is violently summoned and sliced across the chest by her ruthless grandmother because Abraxos still hasn't completed the crossing. With a bloody promise of death hanging over her head, Manan leads her wyvern to the abyss, but the traumatized beast stubbornly refuses to jump. In a breathtaking display of solidarity, the chained bait beasts and the entire host of assembled witches begin stomping and beating their weapons, creating a massive thundering rhythm to encourage them. Fueled by the deafening beat and Manan's fierce loyalty, Abraxos fearlessly hurtles off the cliff, his spider silk-laced wings snapping open to successfully conquer the plunge and secure their dominance.
Hell yeah.
It was awesome.
It was great. Love this chapter so much.
I loved it. I got no notes. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it. Those are chapters.
All right.
Yeah. Are we liking it so far, Amanda?
I love it. I love it so much. I'm really enjoying the series. I understand why Acatar is the more famous series. I feel like Acatar.
I don't.
Okay, hear me out. Acatar is simpler in a lot of ways,
so.
And I do think that a big part of the appeal of Acatar is the smut.
Yeah.
And I think similar to like when 50 Shades of Grey was a thing, I think it is part of this like movement for women to like be okay with being in touch with their sexuality. I think people who are here for the literature and here for the fantasy should stick around for this. I think it is a better fantasy story. But the story of Acatar is Rhys and Feyre's love story. And the story of Throne of Glass is Selena changing the world. That's my theory. So I think if you're in it for the fantasy, then you're here for Throne of Glass. But if you're in it for the romance, then you're here for Acatar.
My ex-cousin Caroline, who got me into both Acatar and Throne of Glass. But when I first read Acatar, particularly when I first read book 1, she was like, "You're going to read this and you're going to enjoy it. I think you're really going to like Throne of Glass."
Yeah.
And Amanda, to your point, I think they like hit different pieces of the fandom and are satisfying for really different reasons also. But I do really appreciate this series.
I think if this was the first Romantasy I read, I don't think I would be as locked into the genre as I am.
I agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. And we'll come back to what I'm about to say much later a couple times, but we had talked in text yesterday, like where Crescent City lies, and I said I think it's for me it's actually hard. And I mean, you already know, Amanda, that Crescent City somehow ties things in one thing, sort of.
Yeah.
So my thing
and my theory is that the universes lay on top of each other.
Right. And I'm not going to say anything at all to confirm or deny.
I just don't know if I've ever said that on the podcast, so I'm saying it.
If Crescent City was just Crescent City off to the side, I don't know how much I'd like it. Mm-hmm. But with the supporting things of these, it really elevates it. So it's hard for me to actually place it. Like without Acatar and Throne of Glass, I don't know how much I like Crescent City. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it doesn't have like standalone power.
It does. And if it was just standalone, I do think Acatar would be rated higher. But because it does have like this sort of connective tissue, for me it brings it slightly above Acatar, but not above Throne of Glass.
You using the phrase connective tissue is indicative that you've been spending too much time around me. That's such an Amanda phrase.
Are you just realizing this?
That's like when I like my sister, our sister,
Jules,
was saying something, I don't know, something about something. And I'm not going to talk about what it was about because I don't want to open that can of worms. But she was like, "Aren't you going to get sick of Rick?" And I was like, "I'm already fucking sick of Rick." I like sent her a picture of you 5 feet away from me while I was like, "I'm already sick of this clown."
You were like, "This is my heel turn," and she's like, "What does that mean?"
Exactly. All right. What else are we reading?
I finished this book. That's what I did, and then I started Dungeon Crawler Carl book 5, and this I'm like 30% in, and so far it's been my favorite book since book 1.
That's great.
Yeah, things are really clicking, so I'm really happy with that. And I watched gay hockey, and it was gay.
Do you want to? How much time did you give us to talk about gay hockey last time?
I think 90 seconds.
All right. You want 90 seconds to talk about gay hockey?
I don't need that long, but sure. Put me on the clock.
I don't have my phone.
That's fine. I'll just talk for a little bit, and I'll be on. I don't need 90 seconds. So
you can have as much time as you want to talk about gay hockey.
Nope, because we're going to talk about it for 90 seconds, and then we'll do its own standalone episode. So, all right. Here's the problem with gay hockey. Not enough hockey. Not enough hockey. For a series that's called gay hockey, I wanted to see more of the sport. I wanted to see more of the games. I wanted to see, like, the game-winning goal of the playoffs and winning the cup and all these things. So there's that. There were some really, really egregious errors with the video game that they were playing and the systems that they were playing it on. So there was that.
What do you think about the phones?
The phones, oh my God, the phones just didn't align up with the time period of that was going on. I just didn't understand. So overall, 5 out of 5.
You're only at 45 seconds, so you can keep going.
Can
you talk about what you liked about it?
Yeah, the show could and should have just been called Scott Hunter. We really only did 3 episodes of this series, so focused solely on him.
Go away.
How much did I love Scott Hunter, do you ask? So I'm playing this game. Tristan should be playing. It's called Arc Raiders. Tristan should be playing Arc Raiders. And
He says Arc Raiders is dead, and then I sent him out of the room because I'm making him watch Heated Rivalry, and I don't want him to know anything that you're about to say.
Completely redid my whole Arc Raiders character wearing a hockey jersey, and I'm playing now as Scott_Hunter. And when I got on yesterday, and Pete said, "What the hell is this name?" And I said, "I'm a hockey player," and he said, "I fucking hate you."
So you really like Scott Hunter. What else did you like?
I don't know. The cottage was cool, I guess.
The cottage itself?
Great.
Like
We're
the
over
house?
90 seconds. What have you been reading?
You didn't think things that Ilya said were funny?
Yeah.
You really like the part with the hamburgers.
The hamburger was funny. He was like, yeah, because he's like, "Don't you know how to do math? Don't you know how to do math?"
What, you can't do math?
Right. All right. We're not talking about this. This is another 30 minutes. We're done with gay
All right.
for now. Someone else say what they're reading.
I'm reading the exact same things as Rick. I finished this book because I really wanted to keep going, and then also am roughly 30% into Dungeon Crawler Carl DCC. Easier to say. Number 5, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy a lot of the threads that have been introduced in the last few books are starting to come back together. With some old fan favorite characters and such too. And so I am excited to see how this book goes, where it ends.
I will kill your mother.
Mm-hmm.
I finished Heated Rivalry, which is the second book in the Game Changers series, and I finished Tough Guy, which is the third book. I liked Tough Guy, I think, a little bit better than Game Changer, but not as much as I liked Heated Rivalry. I am thrilled that I'm done with the first 3 audiobooks because Tortom will be gone and a new narrator will come in. But there's a long wait for the next one. So I'm just going to take a little break from gay hockey. I think I don't want to read The Long Game, which is the second Ilya and Shane book, until after season 2 of the show, because I really enjoyed watching the story brought to life by Connor Story and Hudson Williams fresh. And so I think I would like that for the future of Ilya and Shane. So I'll stop before then. I also started another book. What are the other books I'm reading? Hold, please. I think I finished another book too. What else did I read?
Did you do your Goodreads challenge?
Yes, but I don't remember what I read. Oh, I finished The Great Man. It was fine. 3 stars. I don't know. It was okay. And I'm currently reading a book called, I started listening to Checkmate, which is Ali Hazelwood's YA novel. It's fine. I don't know anything about chess, so that's something. But I just started last night The Sisterhood of Ravensbrook, which is a nonfiction book about an intrepid band of French women who are members of a resistance movement in an all-female concentration camp. Just some light nonfiction reading.
Really?
There it is.
So Throne of Glass, Ali Hazelwood, Holocaust book.
And what's our homework?
Our homework is to finish Heir of Fire.
Oh, yeah.
That's our homework.
I'm hyped.
Amanda, get on it.
Get on it.
I'm not changing the recording schedule. We are recording when it says we're recording.
Yeah.
No, but at least we can talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. I will do my best.
All right. Thanks you all for listening and or watching.
Thanks for making it through with us, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.